Welcome to Golden Rule Wisdom, a sanctuary where we uncover ancient secrets to help you navigate modern life's overwhelming storms. In a world that never stops moving, finding true peace often feels like chasing a fleeting shadow in the dark. Meet Marco, a 24-year-old man who carried the weight of the entire world upon his tired and weary shoulders. His mind was a chaotic battlefield, constantly under siege by painful regrets from the past that he could not change. Simultaneously, he was paralyzed by the terrifying fog of the future, worrying about problems that had not even happened yet. Sleep was a rare luxury for him, as his racing thoughts kept him awake, stealing his energy and his joy. He walked through life like a ghost, physically present but mentally lost in a labyrinth of anxiety and endless stress. Every day felt like a heavy struggle, leaving him drained, as if his soul was leaking energy into the void. He looked in the mirror and saw a stranger, wondering how a young heart could feel so incredibly old and heavy. Desperate for a cure for his restless mind, Marco sought the guidance of an old psychology professor known for wisdom. The professor was a man of few words but deep insight, living a life of simplicity that Marco secretly envied. Marco poured out his heart, explaining how his thoughts were like wild horses running out of control, destroying his peace. The old man listened without interruption, his calm presence acting as a soothing balm to Marco's frantic and chaotic energy. He invited the young man to sit, observing the tremors in Marco's hands and the restless movement of his eyes. With a gentle smile, the professor spoke softly, promising a solution if Marco was willing to undertake a unique challenge. Desperate for relief, Marco agreed immediately, unaware that this simple task would change his perspective on life forever. The wise elder returned with an empty glass and a pitcher, preparing to set the stage for a profound lesson. He poured the water carefully until it reached the very rim, creating a delicate surface that threatened to spill over. He handed the glass to Marco and instructed him to walk to the village end and back without spilling water. The condition was strict. If even a single drop fell to the ground, Marco would have to start all over. Marco took the glass, his heart pounding, realizing that this task required a level of steadiness he did not possess. He began his journey, moving with extreme caution, treating the glass of water as the most precious object on earth. His entire world narrowed down to the rim of that glass, his eyes locked intensely on the trembling water surface. Suddenly, a large dog rushed out, barking loudly, but Marco did not flinch or turn his head for a second. Old friends called out his name from their porches, yet he passed them by as if he was completely deaf. Children played noisily nearby, a ball rolling across his path, but he navigated the obstacle without breaking his intense focus. Sweat began to form on his brow, but his mind was clear, occupied solely by the mission of preserving the water. He reached the end of the village and turned around with the grace of a dancer, keeping the water perfectly still. The return journey felt different. The noise of the world faded into a distant hum, irrelevant to his current purpose. A strange sense of calm began to wash over him, a feeling he had not experienced in a very long time. His breathing synced with his steps, his mind free from the clutter of yesterday's regrets and tomorrow's frightening uncertainties. Finally, he arrived back at the garden, his hands steady and the glass still full to the brim with water. He placed the glass down triumphantly, proud that he had completed the task without losing a single drop of water. The professor smiled warmly, applauding the young man's effort and asking him a question that would unlock the lesson. He asked Marco if he had heard the neighbors gossiping, seen the children fighting, or noticed the angry dog barking. Marco paused, realizing he had blocked it all out. He shook his head, admitting he had noticed none of it. The professor pressed further, asking how he could miss the chaos that was clearly present all around him during the walk. Marco replied simply that his entire focus was on the glass, leaving no room in his mind for distractions. The old man nodded gravely, explaining that this state of total focus was the secret key to finding true peace. He explained that when the mind is fully engaged with the present moment, there is no space for fear or worry. Your suffering comes because you are not holding your glass. You are busy watching the storms that you cannot control. You let the regrets of the past and the anxieties of the future spill into your mind, drowning your present happiness. Life is like that walk. If you focus entirely on the step you are taking now, the noise will disappear. Marco looked into the water and saw a different reflection, one that was calm, present, and free from the burden of time. He took a deep breath, finally understanding that peace is not a destination, but a way of walking through the world. The past is a memory, and the future is a fantasy. Only the present moment is real and within your grasp. When you anchor yourself in the now, the insults of others and the chaos of society can no longer touch you. With a heart full of gratitude, Marco thanked the wise elder and walked out, ready to face life with new eyes. He walked the same path as before, but this time he noticed the beauty of the flowers and the smiling faces. He was no longer rushing toward a future goal. He was fully alive in the journey, savoring every single precious second. The dark clouds of anxiety had dissolved, replaced by the clear, bright sky of awareness and total attention to the present. He realized that the chaos of the world would always exist, but his reaction to it was entirely his own choice. Peace is not found by escaping to a mountain, but by bringing stillness into the center of the busy marketplace. Many of us are like Marco was, carrying glasses full of worries, spilling our energy on things that do not matter. Try this in your own life today. Whatever you are doing, give it your complete and undivided attention, just for now. If you are drinking tea, just drink tea, taste the flavor, feel the warmth, and let everything else fade away. If you are talking to someone, listen to them completely. Do not plan your response or judge them in your mind. When you walk, feel your feet touching the ground. Let the sensation of the earth anchor you to the reality of now. Remember the glass. Your attention is the water. Do not let the distractions of the world cause you to spill it. You cannot fix the past by regretting it, and you cannot control the future by worrying about it. You only have now. When you master the present, your work becomes easier, your relationships become deeper, and your mind finally finds its rest. Just as the sun sets to end the day, let go of your worries. Trust that the present moment is enough. Be like a flame in a windless room, steady, bright, and unwavering, illuminating the darkness without flickering in fear or doubt. The wisdom of the professor is available to you right now. You do not need to go to a distant village. Release the heavy burdens you have been carrying. Let them fly away like birds, leaving your hands open to receive peace. The secret of happiness is not in seeking more, but in being fully present with what you already have right here. Marco found his answer in a glass of water. You can find yours in the simple breath you are taking now. If this story touched your heart, please share it with someone who might be carrying a heavy burden today. Join our community by subscribing to Golden Rule Wisdom. Together we can learn to walk through life with grace and focus. Tell us in the comments below, what is the biggest distraction that steals your peace? Let us discuss and support each other. Nature is never in a hurry, yet everything is accomplished. Look to the mountains and the sea for your daily inspiration. Remember, the only time you ever have to live, to love, and to be happy is this very moment right now. Be the master of your mind, not the victim of your thoughts. Hold your glass steady and walk your path with purpose. Thank you for spending these 10 minutes with us. We hope you leave here lighter, calmer, and more ready for life. Thank you for watching Golden Rule Wisdom. May you find your peace in the present moment. Subscribe for more enlightenment.